Hey, people of Instagram. So I just need to let you know, guys, that the actual stream is over on our YouTube channel. So if you head over to the link in my bio, there's a link to the YouTube channel over there. Otherwise, you're gonna hear me talk, but you're not gonna be hearing any guitar. All right. Get this started. By the way, you should be hearing guitar on both speakers if you're using headphones or stereo, anything. I had to buy a second XLR cable for my sound card. Because some people were complaining that they would only hear guitar on the left side. Everybody's watching on Instagram. The actual stream is over on our YouTube channel if you want to go over there. Okay. This is me. Alright, so tonight I'm checking out the new JHS Pack Rat, and right off the bat I need to tell you guys that I am not a rat person. Like, I own one or two, I think, but I've never actually used a rat in a real setting, and I don't know anything about like rat history, lore, the mods, the different versions and whatnot. So this is pretty interesting. I've only got it like a couple days ago. I barely played it for more than like a minute. So this is like pretty new. Yeah, also I'm pushing it a little bit more with the Tsukiyomi, which is a mid booster. Makes a big difference. what I'm gonna do, I think, is I'll go through them. There's 9 different versions of the rat on there. I want to go through all of them and just like try them out, I guess. So you got your basic volume control. That's straightforward. There's a filter control. I know that on a regular rat, filter control is basically just wait, I'm not even sure. Is it a low pass filter or high pass filter? I think it's a low pass filter to cut off some high end, but I'm not 100% sure. Like I said, I don't know anything about rats. Either way, there's a filter knob. Controls the overall brightness of the circuit. Some modes get brighter as you turn this clockwise and some are reversed, getting darker instead. 100%. Each mode reacts exactly as the original circuit does. That's cool. By the way that this thing works is like technically very, very similar, if not the exact same way as the noodles works with the whole like digitally controlled solid state switching. Low pass filter, right? Yeah, that's what I thought, but I just wasn't sure. Then you've got your distortion knob. Controls the amount of gain distortion within the circuit. Clockwise is more, counterclockwise is less. Well, that's also very straightforward. And then you've got the interesting part, the mode selector. Selects between 9 different versions of classic and rare rats. Just rotate it to the mode you want and the pedal transforms itself instantly. I wish it did like a transformer noise that I'm not going to do with my mouth. Alright, so version 1, the OG, 1979. That's actually older than I am. The perfect recreation of the first production big box rats ever made. The classic rat tone, sustain and attitude. Alright. Turn off the mid boost for a sec. Filter all the way down. Oh yeah, it's a lot darker. Crank it up a bit. Oh yeah, we're getting into my tuning is D-A-D-A C#E. It's a random open tuning that I've been using with my band for a couple of years. That's what happens when you're bad at guitar. I'm about to choke myself up. Yeah, thanks. It's pretty easy to play. That's why we chose it. Yeah, that's almost like fuzz territory. It sounds very oversaturated. Distortion is at max. I know the Rat uses hard clipping with silicon diodes, so it's made to sound harsh. I'm not a fan. mid boost. That's a lot of gain. Guys over on Instagram, the actual stream is over on our YouTube channel. I'm just putting this up so that you can say hi, but also let you know because there's not many subscribers yet. The link is in my bio. Sounds very dry. It's a very dry type of distortion. Nice little chugs. This I like. It's very, very, very low distortion with the mix boost into it. Well, I'm here until 9. Pretty good. Alright, let's move on to the second mode. White Face 1984. The first small box rat ever produced. Much like the OG, but with a different taper filter control. So I expect it to sound exactly the same, but just have the filter knob respond differently. So I expect that, I imagine that they originally used like either a linear or logarithmic pot for filter control, either on the OG or this one, and then they just changed it up. Like, doesn't really change much. Don't have a different tone or anything. All right. That's the OG, and without changing anything else, that's the white face. So that's the filter knob all the way down on the white face, and that's the OG with the filter knob all the way up. So I'm thinking that instead of a different taper, it's just inverted. Now it's actually a different taper because at 50%, if they were just inverted, they'd sound the same, but they don't. So it's pretty much what I was saying. Like, one of them is linear, the other is logarithmic. Usually use logarithmic pots with anything that controls like volume, or maybe sometimes gain, because like the human ear perceives like volume changes or amplitude changes in a logarithmic manner. manner, sorry. Um, Alright, so white face, more white face. People on Instagram, the actual live stream is happening over our YouTube channel. Link is in my bio if you want to check it out. I mean, you're still gonna hear me talk, but like if you want to hear actual guitar, it's over on YouTube. Maybe it's just me, but it kind of feels a little bit less harsh, but like it shouldn't. If the only difference is like the taper of the filter knob, and nothing else changes, like it should sound pretty much the same. But sometimes your brain plays tricks on you. Switch it up a bit. Push it a little bit again. I won't call the game. You stay put. I see people are still joining on Instagram. The actual live stream is over on YouTube, guys. I know it's not super clear, but I'm working on that. Alright, so what's next? Turbo 1989. First right panel that use LEDs, light emitting diodes. Oh, nice. It's clipping section, so it should be a more dramatic change, I think. This results in amazing touch dynamics. Play light for less distortion, harder for more distortion. Yeah. And better overdrive tones with the distortion control turned down. Alright. Give this a whirl. Well, number 3. Oh, that was a nasty click. Super clean. Just a little bit of bite. Oh, we're nasty again. That is too much for me. Dial it back again. Push it with just a little bit of mids. So if you guys can't tell, I'm not really good at guitar. How about you just stay there? so that's pretty cool. What's next? That was the turbo. Next up is the Brat, 1997. I was just out of high school. The ultimate 90s grunge tone. Alright. Am I gonna sound like Nirvana? Adds an input buffer. Okay. Shouldn't really do much to the tone. Soft clipping. Oh, so that would mean diodes in feedback path of the op amp, I think. I'd have to look at schematics to be sure. In addition to the traditional hard clipping and several capacitor changes. So technically, from what I read, it should have a very different frequency response and sound drastically different. Brat. Well, it's quieter. Well, to me, it sounds a little bit thinner. If I go back to the turbo. Yeah, even with the full treble, it retains more low end. So it says that you have both like soft clipping and hard clipping, but you don't have any control over like how much of each you get. So that's a lot of clipping. Be curious to compare the signal on the scope going through that. This one sounds a little bit better with gain at maximum gain, I think. Like it's still harsh, but it's not as bad. It's not as oversaturated as the other ones. Let's add some more. Also, before you ask, I don't know any grunge songs, especially on open tuning. into like punk rock in the 90s, you should know what this is. Face to face. I couldn't hear myself sing, so it must have been horrible. Anyway, that was the Brat. Next up is the Dirty, 2004. Well, that's somewhat recent compared to, at least compared to the original, 1979. Based on You Dirty Rat. Is that a mod? Doesn't say. This mode gives the most saturation and waveform clipping of any rat version ever made. Okay. Should be nasty. Several changes included germanium style clipping diodes. What's germanium style? I know what germanium is, of course, but what's germanium style? I'll have to look it up. Do they mean like low forward voltage? Like Schottky diodes, maybe? I'll have to look it up. And capacitor changes make this mode as unique as it gets. Alright. Dirty. Boosting it doesn't, it's so saturated that boosting it doesn't make much of a difference. Clean playing guy. I prefer drums at very low gain usually. Can't imagine how hard it must be to, well, maybe not, I don't know, I'm not a studio engineer, but like to have this on recording and have to mix this up with other instruments must be hell. But then again, what do I know? Yeah, on low game mode, I really like how it sounds. It retains like definition and cleans up pretty good. Then we have the LA 1986, made by Ibanez. Ibanez. In the 80s, it's still one of the best modified rat circuits ever. Instead of relying on hard clipping from the traditional diode configuration found in most rats, the circuit overloads the op amp. Oh yeah, it's an old. The rat has like used to have, or maybe it still does. I don't know, like an old op amp called the LM308, and its main property is that it's really slow. It has what we call like a slow slew rate, which basically is the time that it takes for a change in voltage on one side to have an effect on the other end, on the output, basically. And apparently that's one of the key things that gives whatever the rat its characteristic tone. Because I think that I've seen before that people have tried doing the exact same rat circuit but with a more modern op amp, and it wouldn't sound the same. So I'm thinking that this was probably right. I've never tried it myself. All right, let's try it. LA, blah, blah. I need to turn the pedal on. So I'm thinking that this is just like the original circuit, but it doesn't have the diodes. So it still clips because of the gain through the op amp and going over its headroom, but it doesn't have diodes. Kind of sounds bigger. Yeah, you can barely tell that there's a boost on. I don't think it cleans up super well. That's just can't put quite the right words on how to describe the sound, but I'm not a fan. Alright, let's move on then. Next mode is the Landgraf mod, 2005. Never heard of that. The definitive boutique take on the rat, based on John Landgraf's extremely rare mod, MOD. MOD. O and D are separated with a hyphen. Distortion, distinct cousin of the rat with tons of versatility and attitude. Okay, more attitude. Check it out. The click is probably due to a bunch of internal switching that happens inside. And I don't think it's meant to be swapped while you're playing live anyway. It's not really a big deal. Has the synthy character to it, I don't know. No, that's actually the very first JHS pedal I've ever used. I've never owned a JHS pedal before. I might check it out, but that's the Tube Screamer one, I think. And I've never been a rat person, and I've played rats before, but not like significantly. But I'm also pretty positive that maybe I played a Tube Screamer, but if I did, it was without me knowing that it was a Tube Screamer, so probably some obscure clone or something. But I don't remember being aware of playing a Tube Screamer ever. So who knows? Maybe I'll check it out. And to answer your next question, yes, I've played big muffs, and I've played clowns. Now maybe I should check out the muffaletta, but I don't know, I've never been a fan of muffs either. I'm not a fan of many things. That's bad. I guess it sounds okay on very low gain. I haven't actually played like distortion music or hacking music in years. I had like a few months of playing like doom metal a couple of years ago, but it was very, very short. Oh, somebody's on Instagram chat. Is the Amaterasu and Tsukiyomi named after Naruto or just Japanese mythology? I've had a lot of people ask that like over the years, and a lot of people assume that it was because of Naruto, and I sort of, part of me wants to keep that going, but like real truth is like they're from Japanese Shinto. I've never been like an anime fan or anything. I've never watched Naruto. I know what it is, but that's pretty much it. Sorry if I disappoint somebody, but like it's not from Naruto. Sorry. Side note, you might want to head over our YouTube channel because that's where the actual stream is going on if you want to hear me play bad guitar. This doesn't sound that bad. No disappointments? Well, I know people that would have been disappointed. I know some people that have bought my pedals that I know for a fact they were hardcore Naruto fans. Maybe that would break their heart. Next up is Caroline's version, the Wave Cannon, 2010. You guys know Caroline. We all do. Philip Herndon adapted his Wave Cannon Distortion V1 just for us. Nice. I like when companies do crossovers or work together on products. Like, it's funny because the pedal industry isn't like a hostile industry. Like, we're all competitors and whatnot, but like nobody fights. Well, I mean, some people fight, but most of us get along. So that's cool. I'm glad to see this. Seriously great take on the Rat circuit with all kinds of clever modifications. All right. Control crossover? I don't know. I mean, there were talks with other people before, but, you know, talks. Everybody's busy with their own thing, and, I mean, I figured that a lot of people talk and make projects and whatever, but, like, very few of them ever see the light of day. Like, but who knows, like, maybe someday. I don't know. I'm open. Any plans for ground control modulation effects? Maybe. So I've said it recently, like on the blog and on Instagram and everything. Like it's not a secret. It's out there. If you guys, well, you guys don't know me, but like by trade, I'm a computer programmer. So naturally, after I started learning electronics, inevitably I was going to be drawn to digital side of things because code is more natural to me than analog electronics. So yeah, the next couple of pedals are definitely going to be digital, so expect all kind of non-gain related stuff, including modulations probably. Like I don't have any hard plans right now because I'm working on the hardware platform, but yeah, probably is the short answer. Probably a digital delay too. I don't know. I mean, I've been working with a chip called the FX Core, which is, if you guys are a little bit nerdy, you've heard of the FV1 chip from a company called Spin Semi. It's in a lot of pedals because it's very easy to work with. One of the guys that worked on that chip's design from years ago has worked on some sort of spiritual successor, if you will, called the FX Core, and it got released. I think it was less than a year ago or something. But yeah, I'm working with that. So fun stuff, including delays and modulations and whatnot. Look at me revealing all my plans to everybody else. Oh my. I don't really care for the secrecy yet. Besides, I haven't revealed everything. Oh wow, it's almost 9 already. Let's get this over with. There's one more we need to go through. The JHS mode, our classic modification that we performed in countless rats for over a decade. It's louder, bigger, and has a huge range of tones. Try it for yourself. I certainly will. If you do digital delay, all I need is a tap tempo. Well, tap tempos are pretty much standard. Like I can't imagine a delay nowadays without tap tempo. Something sounds nasty. It's just way too much gain. Alright, so I guess it's conclusion time. I wasn't a rat person, and I don't think I'm gonna be a rat person anytime soon. Like it's a fun distortion, and this particular pedal is fun because like you've got all of them. But like unless you're an actual like rat nerd or a rat enthusiast, like I don't know. Maybe it's just not for me. I play mostly clean, maybe with a tiny bit of dirt. But yeah, I am not a rat person. But yeah, check it out. Look, it's a really, really cool pedal. It's a fun pedal, and it's also a history lesson, which I find is really nice. So, alright, guys, leave it at that, and I'll probably see you again next week. I have no idea what I'm going to be doing next week. I'll think about it and post on Instagram. So, alright, that's it for me. Peace out.